Hi friends, today's the day. As I promised in the last couple of videos, I'm going to go and pay my yearly property taxes, my car registrations, and my water bill. First though, there's another chore that I have to do before I can go out. Please enjoy my stories or whatever else might be on my mind today. Got my pressure washer out. Job number one when I return from the States after 6 months is to pressure wash the van and the car. Look at all of this. This was totally clean, bare cement when I left. This is brought up by the leaf cutter ants. This was a hole. Over here, the dog Bruno next door has been digging a hole. That was a hole. The ants have totally filled this up. I don't know if you can see how much is actually there. Unbelievable. I'll be starting the ant wars soon. But today I gotta pressure wash a vehicle so I can go pay my taxes. The purple jacaranda are in bloom. Always so beautiful when we return here to the north shore of Lake Chapala in Ajijic, Jalisco, Mexico. You know, when we moved here, there was one traffic light at Colon and the Carretera, and now I believe there are 10 between Walmart and West Ajijic. I always spend a week reappreciating how green it is here compared to the months we spend in the Arizona desert. We love the desert, but we miss the green. If you look up there between the green, though, you see the brown mountains. This is the brown dry season. When the rains start, those mountains there will be as green as the Emerald Isle. I'm on my way back home. We'll take a look at the numbers I've just paid for the property taxes, etc. When we get there, we'll look at some numbers compared to last year. I've made my notes here about the yearly costs. So the vehicle registrations for the year, the van, 968 pesos, the car, 968 pesos, and the ATV, it's a Honda Foreman, 450. 453 pesos. That adds up to 2,389 pesos for all three vehicles for the license tags for the year. And that comes to, by an exchange rate of what it was when I paid today, 20 pesos to $1. That means that my car tags for the year for all three vehicles was $119.45. That makes me smile compared to vehicles I have in the United States. Last year, 2024, it was a little less in terms of pesos, 2,121 pesos, but the exchange rate last year was only 16 pesos to $1. So the real US dollar cost to me, and my money comes in dollars, not pesos. It comes in dollars and goes out in pesos while I'm in Mexico. In terms of dollars, it was 132. So last year, $132 for license plates, and this year, 119. So it went down. The difference was $15 about. Yeah. I have some of the same reduction in costs for the year 2025 from 2024 for the property taxes. I have two properties, the main house and the, we call it the casita. It used to be a separate building. We built this living room to join the two properties, and I'm actually sitting probably right on the property line. The property for the main house is 5,119 pesos, and the other property, same size amount of dirt, but smaller construction, 30,608. So that's a total for 2025 of 8,727 pesos, which at an exchange rate of 20 to 1 is $436. Total property taxes for both properties for 2025. Last year, it was actually more pesos. The total last year was 9,039 pesos compared to 87.27 this year. And that came out with a worse exchange rate to $565 last year for property taxes and $436 this year for property taxes, for a savings of, $130. Less property taxes by US dollars this year than last year because the exchange rate is better. And I compare that to rental properties I own in the United States, where it's a property that's worth a fifth as much and the taxes are over $2,000 a month, $2,800. Water bill that I paid was 1,535 pesos, which is $77, but I think they didn't read the meter recently or something. It usually runs around a couple of $100 per year for my water, and most people don't have a meter. I have a meter. When I bought the property, it was cheaper for the seller because I demanded to have my own water line rather than being hooked up to the neighbor. It was less expensive for them to accept a meter at that time, which nobody wanted, but I've got one because it cost them less to satisfy my purchase demand. We also have a yearly expense, which I haven't paid yet, but I will this coming month, for our government health insurance. It's called IMSS, and Lynn and I have had it for all the years we've been here. It's a little more difficult to get now than it was back then. We think about it as catastrophic insurance in case something really bad happens. It would be our first go-to thing. Our second go-to thing, of course, would be to go back to the United States, where we're fully covered with Medicare and a Medicare Advantage. Anyway, our IMSS for the year is, because we're now between 70-something and 79, is 20,650 pesos, which is $1,100 each. So $2,200 a year. That's our full coverage health insurance in Mexico from IMSS, the government health plan. I also went and paid my car insurance. The BMW, and I have liability only, was 4,411 pesos, which is $220. Like I said, that's liability only, but it includes, I had to translate this from Spanish, for total theft. It's covered for theft. If they steal the whole car, I'm covered. I have legal insurance to defend me in the case of a lawsuit with regard to a car accident. Occupant medical expenses, 400,000 pesos. Excess civil liability for the death of third parties, 2 million pesos. Car accidents to the other driver, 100,000 pesos. Civil liability, 1.5 million pesos. And I'm covered for funeral expenses if I die in an accident. And as I said, that's liability only. I don't insure it for comprehensive. It's not worth that much. The van is about twice that much because it's bigger and heavier and has much more horsepower. And that determines the rates, but it's about twice as much, so like around $400 a year for liability insurance for the van. Well, that's my yearly bills, and just let it be said that if you own a property and you don't eat out all the time, it's much more economical to live in Ajijic, Mexico than Arizona. Well, I turned my camera around to see if the echo was any different in this direction. I can tell that the lighting is not as good, but anyway, I'll work on the echo. My next video is going to be just about Lynn and I and our retired life here on the north shore of Lake Chapala in Ajijic, Jalisco, Mexico. Whatever we happen to be doing, enjoying ourselves. One of my projects going on is designing and rebuilding my home workshop. If you watch my videos for a while, last fall in August, I discovered that I had a termite problem, and all the cupboards that have been in there for years and years and years there was nothing left of them. Anyway, we cleaned it all out, and we had the termites treated. I have the guy coming in a day or so to check and see if some of the new termite trails are live, or if they're just something that happened before all the chemicals he pumped into the ground took effect last August. Actually, it was first week of September. We left on September 11th. So, and nobody's been in that room since then. Well, I've been in there, and there's some new trails. But anyway, the pro is coming to take a look at it and see if we need to reapply some of the termite abatement procedures. Hey, see you soon. Hey, if you like me, give me one of those thumbs up. And please subscribe and hit that little bell so you know when I post next. Please share me with your friends on social media. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed what was on my mind today.